Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining Canvas and Panopto, how to build searchable gradable video inside Canvas. And this session is a live demonstration rather than just a slide deck presentation. And most of you will see today, and it will take place directly inside an actual Canvas course in real time. So while we are giving everyone a minute or two to join, just a few housekeeping notes. If you have any questions during the session, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A panel here in Zoom. We will have a dedicated question and answer session at the end. Also, this webinar is being recorded and we'll make sure that a copy is sent to you right after the event. Now, before we start, a few brief introduction. I'm Inna Horvat, an International Marketing Manager here at Panopto. Joining me is Lucian Lee, our solutions engineer, who will be live inside Canvas for most of this session and walk you through the workflows. So, hi, Lucian.
Hello, Ina. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, so a couple of words about our agenda before we begin. Here's how we will structure the next half an hour. We will begin with an operational reality that most institutions are currently managing. Lucian will then lead the live demonstration inside the Canvas. And following that, we will step back briefly to discuss where this is headed. We will close with the Q&A session, so please begin thinking about what you would like to ask. Now, before we show our solution, let's define the problem. Now, the systems most institutions rely on today were selected over a decade ago or so, and with a single purpose: basic lecture capture. They were never designed for how teaching actually operates inside the LMS today. And at present, video content is distributed across 4 or 5 disconnected systems, most likely. Faculty record in one tool, store the file in another, caption in the third, and then paste the link into Canvas that frequently breaks within a term. Consider what this means in practice. Faculty find themselves re-recording the same lecture each term. Students scrub through a 70-minute recording, searching for just 5 minutes what they need, and eventually give up. Meanwhile, operational teams, including AV staff and instructional designers, absorb a steady volume of support tickets. Rather than discuss all of this in abstract, I will now hand things over to Lucian, who will demonstrate what you see right now on the screen and what it looks like when the video is truly native to Canvas. Lucian, over to you.
Thank you, Ina. So yeah, as Ina mentioned, right, Panopto is not just another destination where students and faculty go, right? Panopto actually is a video layer inside of Canvas that's already running that you're used to. So over the next 20 minutes, we'll take a look at things such as provisioning, in-course workflow, course copy, and the engagement sequence for video that actively drives grades directly into the Canvas Gradebook. The first thing worth showing is what happens before a faculty member ever records anything, because this is where a lot of the operational drag actually begins. Ina, do you typically see issues with faculty and even ed tech teams and AV teams when it comes to provisioning or creating courses and creating course folder structures?
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that we have. This question is arisen over and over again with educators. They mostly want to know whether it's possible to avoid the overhead of manually creating course folders and setting permissions every term over and over again. And mostly it takes, several hundred courses. So many teams have simply accepted this as their standard practice. And do you have something on that, Lucian?
Well, the good news is with the integration between Panopto and Canvas, that no longer needs to be an issue. One of the unique things about the integration is we automatically take care of the provisioning process for you. So today, what you'll see is when we click on this Panopto video external link, what this is going to do is this is actually going to create an identical backend in Panopto that connects this course with the Panopto folder that gets created inside of Panopto. In addition to creating this folder where your content will live, what this also does is take care of the permissioning for all the faculty and students. With this provisioning process, Panopto creates 2 groups, a viewer group and a creator group. The viewer group is the group reserved for all the students. This is going to give them access to the content and allow them to view the content without actually allowing them to edit or change any of the content. The creator group is designated for the faculty member. This gives the faculty member the capability within inside this course folder to record, upload, edit, assign different workflows for the students inside here. This is important because this is one of the biggest reductions of busy work for AV and EdTech teams. The folders, the permissions, the access requests that generate tickets for the um, for the support groups. This is all resolved with this provisioning process. Now that the course is provisioned and everyone has the right access, let's take a look and let's see what faculty and students can actually do inside of Panopto.
So that's something that comes up with instructional designers, I think, is most of the times. They describe a process where the faculty record in Zoom, download the file, then upload it to media server, then they caption it in a third tool, and then they paste the link into the Canvas. So 5 steps before student can even watch anything. So they are wondering if that's the baseline everyone is working from. You mentioned just now that you want to show how it works in Panopto. So yeah, what do you have to say to this kind of issue?
Yeah, well, the beauty of Panopto again is Panopto is built inside of Canvas. So when it comes to recording, uploading content, importing content from Zoom, it all happens directly natively inside of Canvas, giving you access directly. So we'll take a look at a few things inside of the Canvas Panopto experience that you get to leverage and take advantage of every day. One of those is probably one of Panopto's most popular features, and that's search. So Panopto does an amazing job of indexing any content that is brought into Panopto, whether it's audio, whether it's words that show up on a screen. We index all those for search, and we make it very simple to go ahead and search a term, say like soft tissue. I believe I'm in a health science course that not only goes through all the videos, but it'll figure out exactly where in the video that phrase was spoken. And it's going to jump me directly to that moment in time, saving me a lot of time and effort of not only figuring out what video I need to search for, but once I have the right video, where exactly in the video I was looking for. Here you can see at the 550 mark where it talks about the compression soft tissue on a lateral side. I can click directly on that link and it's going to jump me directly to that moment in the video where that phrase was spoken. So I can see right here where it's talking about the soft tissue on the lateral aspect. Panopto makes it super easy and super quick to find exactly what you're looking for when you're looking for it. In addition, while the faculty member is in this view, they also have the ability to leverage our fully capable editor. So in the upper right, I have the ability to click on the little editing icon, which is going to take me into our editor, which is going to allow me to do a multitude of things while in the video. It's going to give me access to make cuts on the video right here that you can see at the bottom. I can also remove it because our editor by default is non-destructive. So I can remove any edits that I make at any given time, whether it's during this first editing process or 2 weeks later if I wish to remove them. I also have the ability within here to add additional sharing permissions to another individual or another group of people. So we mentioned earlier that by default, we had the ability to create those two groups, again, the creator and the viewer group. However, if I need to add someone individually to here, I could do so very simply by searching for their name, which would then pop up, and then I can select their name, can make sure they have the proper viewing permissions. In this case, I just want to give them viewing access. And then I can save this, easily granting someone additionally access to the content. If I take a step back and I go into the actual folder again, as the faculty member, I also have the ability to start to create additional folders in here. I can do so by creating subfolders by quickly clicking the add folder, and then I can start to type in a name here to create an additional folder. This is all important because typically what you see is most tools were built just for hosting. They store a file, then give you a link, and then send you on your way. But they weren't built to have content live natively inside of the courses, how they're actually taught. Everything so far is up to this point with the provisioning in the particular course has been about the course. But faculty don't teach in just one course, right? They teach every term. So the next feature that we're going to look at is what's really going to be, which is it's really going to matter for this next feature.
Right. I mean, frequently asked questions. Sorry to interrupt, Lucian, but this just kind of reminds me of what we keep having as a question is that faculty keeps re-recording their lectures every semester because copying the course never brings the video format cleanly, and that storage has become a budget conversation as a result. So they ask whether it's a solvable problem in Canvas.
Now that's a great question, Ian, and that's something that I think we hear a lot, right? Faculty want to use the same video over, but there's metadata from the previous semester that students created inside of it, or it creates more copies, taking up more space, potentially having a greater cost. I'm happy to say that Panopto has a solution for this in terms of our course copy workflow. Panopto allows you to easily take all your content, all your videos from your previous semester and move them over to your new semester cleanly while removing all the metadata from the previous semester related to the students. Also, when we create our copies, it doesn't take up any additional storage or any additional usage during the copy process. And it can be done very easily. Typically, we see one of two ways where when this integration is set up, the administrator can set this up by default, so the faculty have to do nothing, completely hands off. Or if you like, there's a two-step process where inside the folder, if I click these three little dots, I can go to the settings. I can scroll right down here to course copy video, and I can pick and choose whether I want to copy the whole course, leave individual things out, include Zoom videos from my recording. It gives me complete flexibility of the content I want to copy over, and I just hit choose source folder and copy, and voila. All my videos from my previous semester are now in my new semester, and all the metadata related to the old videos are now removed. So provisioning is automatic, the workflow lives in Canvas, and the content carries forward for every term. Now I want to show you the part that tends to get the biggest reaction because this is where the video stops being something that students just watch and they actually start to actively engage with. Ina, do we see gaps potentially where students just watch video but they have no engagement capabilities with video?
Oh, absolutely. You're right on point. I was just about to jump in and rudely interrupt you again that this is the concern that we hear from institutions all the time. So they tell us that there is no actually visibility into whether the student actually watched the video and understood anything from that, since the video simply sits there, right? So they ask if it's possible to make video as an asset which can actually be graded and assessed without rebuilding the entire workflow. So do you have something on that to share?
Great question. And I think we can help with that. So Panopto aligns with the Canvas Gradebook and allows you to seamlessly incorporate capabilities from Panopto's built-in quizzing and actually the ability to allow students to leverage the recorder to actually use Panopto to record to create video submissions that can be graded. And we could do this easily within Canvas by simply creating a couple assignments here in Canvas. I've taken the liberty to create a quick quizzing example and also a student submission workflow. So what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to swap over to the student view and give you an idea of what this would look like from the student side of things. So here as a student, I would see under my assignments that I have these two assignments that I can leverage. I'll jump into the quizzing feature first. Inside the quizzing feature, what you're going to notice is I have a video here that I can begin to watch. So I'll hit play. And through this process, once I get to the portion of the video where the quiz lives, the video would pause, the student would take the quiz, and they would resume watching the video. So here we can see this video will take a quick pause, and the video will pop up, and then the student will be allowed to take the video. So Panopto supports a handful of questions or quiz types in here from true and false to multiple choice. Did I hit that? There we go. To multiple select, and even short answer or fill in the blank. I must have been paying attention, so I got them all right. And then I can hit continue and finish watching the video. So that is the workflow from the student perspective when it comes to quizzing. Now, when we look at the student submission workflow, I have the ability as the student to leverage the recording capabilities here in Panopto. So here I can hit start assignment, and I'll have access to the Panopto content picker in the rich content editor. And this is going to allow me to leverage a handful of ways to provide Panopto content. I can choose content, I can upload content, or what we'll look at is the ability to record content. So here I'm going to launch Panopto Capture, Panopto's fully web-based recording solution. This is going to allow the students to record in a specialized secured folder, which only the faculty have access to, meaning the students can't see the other students' work when they are leveraging the recording capabilities. So here I can go ahead and start my recording. I can let this begin recording, and I'll let it go for 3 to 5 seconds, and then I'll hit stop. And here it takes me to my post-recording screen where the upload is already complete. I can rename this. I see it goes into my specialized assignments folder, and I'm good to go. So as a student, I can go ahead and close this, and then I can go ahead and insert this. And I know it's ready to go. And here I'll submit my assignment. Boom. So let's flip back to the faculty side of things, and let's look at what this looks like in the gradebook. So if I jump over to the gradebook, I can see that, dun, 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 drum roll, Lucian student has successfully completed that quiz, which he has a 40 of 40. And I can see there's the submission already for the assignment. So I can hop over here, pop open this speed grader, and voila. I have the video, which will pop up on my left that I can then review. I can add my grade, additional comments I can put right here. And one quick call out with one of the features in Panopto, the beauty of this is I can leave direct feedback inside here in the video with a comment inside Panopto. This allows the student to see exactly where in the video my comment was left. So if there was a moment or a learning opportunity, I can quickly see that. So I can go ahead and submit this. My grade is in there. I can go ahead and close this out. And now if I refresh this, I should see that my student quiz and my assignment grade are easily and seamlessly synced inside the gradebook. This matters because this is kind of the full loop, right? This is the full circle. Faculty can use video to check understanding, and students can use video to demonstrate that they understand it. All inside of Canvas, all while flowing to the gradebook. This is what it means to support video in courses the way they're actually taught and not just host a file. There's one more thing that I want to show before heading and wrapping this up, and that's simply embedding a video inside of Canvas. So we can quickly do that by looking at anywhere you can put the rich content editor, and I can quickly go ahead and hit add discussion and quickly post a Panopto video inside. Again, allowing you to put content inside of Canvas outside of the LTI tool in the Panopto's video link. All this fixes the workflow today, right? We want to spend the last couple of minutes talking about where this is going, because that's the part that we should shape how we think about how video actually works in a total in an institution. I'll send this back over to you.
Thanks, Lucian. This has been a really good demo of how video actually turns into an active learning asset as opposed to this passive watching experience. So everything you've seen today addresses the current workflow. I would like to spend a few final moments on where this is heading, as it should inform you how to think about video on an institutional level and how lots of our customers are already implementing these workflows. So the broader shift underway is treating institutional video as infrastructure rather than a storage that becomes disconnected once a team concludes. The video should function as a searchable AI-ready library asset, and the same content that is provisioned, taught, and assembled inside Canvas becomes a durable, searchable knowledge asset that the institution owns and can continue to build upon. Everything demonstrated today already makes video discoverable, and the direction this is heading to is a natural language, AI-powered search across an institution's entire video library, allowing the student to simply ask the question in plain language how they would phrase and be directed to the exact moment it was addressed in a lecture. Video should be treated as an asset that appreciates in value over time rather than just a file that becomes standard once the course concludes. So before we close, if you'd like to connect with Panopto team in person, we'll be at InstructureCon. Details are on the screen. Please feel free to visit us there at booth 51. And finally, with that, we are opening our chat for any questions that you've had throughout the session. We already got some answered by our incredible Panopto team. Thank you so much for everyone with cameras off and helping us to make sure that all the questions are answered. There are several that we will take live, and I will ask Lucian to share your expertise. We've got a few questions already, but please do not hesitate to ask anything that you feel like asking. And first question would be from Cheryl. So Cheryl, thank you for being here. Cheryl is asking, is the student video capture workflow similarly seamless via mobile? That's a good question. A lot of times comes up. Lucian, would you? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was reading the updated for the link one. So we want to know, is this seamless during the mobile workflow experience as well?
Yes, yes. It doesn't work the same seamlessly as the mobile.
Yeah, through Panopto's mobile app, you have the same experience, whether it's on iOS or Android, giving you the same access and same viewing capabilities with your viewing experience. And as long as you're authenticated, you still have all the same options to all the interactivity and elements within the viewing experience.
Great, great. I think for many educators, mobile access is becoming a very hot topic right now, especially with every student having mobile phone, and you expect the access. All right, so Carol asks, with the course copy option, does it update the links to embedded recordings to the point that the copy that students on the new Canvas course have access to? And she explains that we encourage colleagues to embed recordings in Canvas pages using the Panopto option in the rich content editor.
Cheryl, that's a great question. The beauty of our course copy is when it is initiated, everything related to those Panopto videos are also updated in the copy. So any links, any embeds, and all the videos that are being copied from the old course to the new course are automatically updated, and all the metadata from the previous course is stripped and removed. And in the end, what it gives you is a brand new video, a brand new link, or a brand new embed, all without taking up any additional storage or any additional creation inside of Panopto.
Great. Thanks, Lucian. Another very frequently asked question is that we have we have years of video content on our current platform. What does migration actually look like?
Well, the beauty of our migration service is we have a dedicated team specifically for that workflow. So we offer a white glove service that takes your content from your previous provider, moves it securely over to the Panopto side of things, leveraging AWS as our backend. And from there, we go ahead and we change all that video over to what we look at as a Panopto video that has all the relevant aspects to it: search, ASR, OCR, etc., accessibility. And then we work with you to designate where you would like to put that in your new Panopto platform. So it's fairly hands-off for the end user. And like I said, fully supported by our dedicated migrations team.
Yeah, great. You already mentioned that accessibility topic, and I feel like we should just say apologies. It's not 30 minutes, but it's at least 2 hours long conversation, because the moment we start talking about accessibility, it just goes on and on. But as quickly as as it's possible, respecting the time that we've got, and our attendees have lots of things to do. So this is the question finally: are captions automatic, and how accurate are they? Our accessibility office will definitely ask.
So yes, captions are automatic. Everything that's again recorded, uploaded, or moved over via integration, say like with Zoom, is automatically captioned. On average, you see about 95, 96% caption accuracy out the gate. However, Panopto does have a few additional features within the platform to help increase that. One of them being is a custom dictionary. So if it's a specific course, there might be specific jargon or vernacular that's oftentimes incorrect in terms of the captioning. You can create a custom dictionary and you can add these words to it, thus increasing your caption accuracy. In addition to that, we have a fully compatible human transcription option built into Panopto. So if 508 caption compliant captions are necessary right out the gate, you can set that up and automate that as well. So you can get those turned around in 4 days, 2 days, or even 24 hours if you need it.
Yeah, sounds quite effortless and seamless. All right, so with that, we've answered all of our questions. Please do not hesitate to reach out if you have any more, something that has guided you to think over the Canvas integration in your institution. Feel free to scan the QR code that is going to appear right now on the screen. Connect with us at Panopto with Lucian or me. Very happy to help you. And this concludes our session, actually. Thank you to Lucian for leading today's demonstration, and thank you all for joining. A recording of today's session will follow by email. Thank you again for your time.